I'm going to be showing you the top 10 things that I do early game to make my game just a little bit better. Some things have changed since my last one I put out in 1.8, and a lot of these things will be viable for 1.9. However, in full release, things have been changed, and therefore a few of these will be different. I will go ahead and timestamp all of these, so if it is one that you have seen previously, you can easily skip ahead to the next one. So let's get started. When you get to town, sell off your extra gear, especially your civilian gear if you don't need it. So when you get to town, look at what you can go ahead and sell off to make that bit of extra money. Early in the game, cutting up sheeps and hogs is extremely profitable. So by buying them, cutting them up, and selling them back, you can make a lot of extra money. We will buy all the hogs, we will cut them up, and we have now made 3,400 dinars just by cutting them up. Now we will go ahead and do this once again, this time with the sheep. And we made 2,026. So just at the beginning of the game, by selling off our gear, doing the hogs and the sheep, we are now up to 6,625 dinars. The new tournament system is absolutely amazing, and I don't know whether or not it's going to get scaled back. But if there are enough lords in the town, then you are going to have a chance at getting a higher loot drop. So if I go in, I can see that there are 3 lords here, and they are going to go ahead and give me this horse. So I'm going to go ahead and do this tournament and show you what you could potentially make by doing tournaments. Just by completing this tournament, I got one worth 3,800 to sell. And there are many things out there, such as the horses, that could sell for about 16,000. And you can get top end gear from the start of the game. So look to do every single tournament you can. Smithing is now still one of the best ways that you can make money, not just from crafting orders that pay 17,000, but it doesn't take that long to unlock some of the most expensive parts in the game. Smithing itself has been reduced multiple times. You could still make amazing money by doing smithing, whether it's just by building weapons or it's by doing crafting orders, as some can be between 40 and 160,000 each. With the new loot system in Bannerlord, what you really want to do is try to invest into a little bit of roguery. Every focus point you get into roguery and you end up maxing out those 40 points is going to give you an additional 10% more loot from battle. And while that doesn't sound like a lot, it's going to give you more loot. And this is why it is so important. We're going to run this battle, and we will have some RNG involved into this. So we took that battle, and this is the loot that we got. We're going to now go head to town and sell the loot. We ended up making 8,000, but you have to include that number right there because we're negative 9,900. So we made almost 10,000 in one battle. So we have now jumped our roguery up to 200, which means we're going to get 50% more battle loot. We will now run the battle again. So we won the battle this time. And now we have this loot. So while the last time we made approximately 10,000, since we got 50% more loot, we should be making about 15,000. So when you add these two together, 8,600 and 8,500, we made almost 17,000, which is approximately what you should make. But that is not the main reason why we want to invest in roguery. But in the new system, you can get items such as fine or even masterwork that are absolutely amazing items. So the higher your roguery, the more items you're going to get, but the better chance at higher tier loot is what you're really after. Working your skills early is absolutely vital in certain situations, depending on what your character is going to be doing later on in the game, in which I will be showing you one example of that. There are certain ones that if you plan on doing them, you want to make sure that you're starting to work them very early as they will pay off, such as steward, medicine, scouting, leadership. They are going to come in so handy later on, and some take a long time to level. I will take Steward as an example. Steward is gained by the amount of troops that you have and the food variety you have. While there are 9 different types of food, you need to have at least 4 to get a food variety. I have 10 skill and I have 1 point into it. We do have a 6.5 learning rate, so we'll have to remember that. But we're now going to let 1 day pass. So I have now gone up to level 2 and 12 into that. This time, we are going to try it with all 9 food types and check it again. Instead of being 12, we have now jumped up to 15. So we got more than double what we did in the earlier one. We got a lot more. And this is something that I try to let people know is your skill XP and your character XP are completely different. So while this is going, we are gaining passive XP towards our character level. So leveling skills early can not only get these up to 275 quicker, but can also grant you quick character levels in the process. The Flesson special, named by my friend at Strat Gaming, is my go-to quest that I do. This is going to deal with going after bandit bases. The one thing that you're going to need to do this are going to be blunt weapon troops. You can use the tier 2 Kuzite footmen, but I prefer to use the Aserai troops. The recruits will go into tribesmen. They use wooden hammers. Then the tribesmen can go up into footmen, who then use heavy horsemen's maces. Now, they do have different loadouts. Some can have regular slashing weapons to not take prisoners, but for the most part, you are going to get all prisoners. It is also advisable that you have a blunt weapon as well, as you want to be able to duel the boss. Start looking for the quest. In town, it will be an associate is captured by bounty hunters. So we know we have a bandit base there. So along our journey as we are going towards it, look to see if there are other quests nearby. We have a quest sitting there. And they have a bandit base quest. Now you can only do one quest of the same name at a time. However, the village base quest and the town base quest are named differently. So you can now take both of these quests for the single bandit base. And now we're going to get paid for both of them. So let's complete this bandit base. So you have 2 choices. You can duel or you can have all your guys fight. I always prefer to duel. It's just much easier for me to be able to take him out one-on-one. And also by dueling him, all the guys standing behind him will be taken prisoner. So we ended up getting 18 prisoners out of it, and we got this loot. Now, what we want to do is we want to go look for a laborer's quest. The laborer's quest can only be found in 4 villages. That will be silver, iron, clay, and salt. So we need to go find ourselves a laborer's quest. Once you've found your manual laborer's quest, do not talk to him. If you talk to him, you're going to talk, get the quest, come back out, and have to talk to him again. If you do that, there is a chance the headman will want a piece of the action. Here's how you get around it: visit him. By visiting him, this allows you to take the quest and then immediately talk to him again and hand over the troops. Handing over these 18 from the bandit base got us a whopping 5,985 dinars just for the prisoners. Now we need to go back to town and sell our loot. We didn't have any other loot with us except for the grain, and we're going to end up pulling 1,209 dinars out of that, which that is going to vary greatly. So let's run through what we made. We made 3,000 from doing the bandit base quest. We made 3,000 from doing the bounty hunter quest. We got 5,985 for doing the laborer's quest, and we got 1,209 for selling the loot, for a grand total of 13,194 dinars from one bandit base. Now, you're not always going to get both of the quests that give you 3,000 for the bandit base, but try to look for them. Even with only getting one of those quests, if you subtract the 3,000, we still made over 10,000 dinars with just one bandit base and selling off the prisoner. Trading. This is something that has changed drastically because the horse prices now do not return what they used to. Doing this from day one is exceptionally difficult. But once you start getting towards around day 75 to 100, there are certain items that are absolutely phenomenal to trade. You have the higher expensive items. These are known as luxury items. The higher a town's prosperity, the more the town will consume on its own. You can get good prices for things such as jewelry, fur, and leather from the higher prosperity towns if they are not producing these goods. There are three in particular that I think are absolutely amazing: tools, linen, and pottery. These are items that I have found early on that have been absolutely amazing, that it is easy to buy them in certain areas, and most places will pay exceptional for them. These are the three go-tos that I use to be able to get high trade. The way that you can tell whether or not they're worth buying is you hover over the price and it will tell you where it is according to the global average around the entire world. This says it is near its average. What you want to try to do is buy them when they are below the global average. And you want to sell when they are above the global average. If you have the 25 and the 50 trade perk, you will get something else. You will see that it is now in green, telling you that it is, in fact, below the global average. So it will be easier for you to find them. So you want to buy the ones that are below the global average. You want to sell them when they are above the global average. So you can see that these are 140% more than the global average. If you do have the two trades unlocked, you want to buy when it is green, and on your side, you want to sell when it is red. Questing is one of the easiest things you can do, and there are some that are absolutely amazing, and some take virtually no time to do. I'm not going to get into a lot of specifics, but let me just list some of the really good ones. Art of the Trade needs tools, caravan ambush, lords need horses, train the troops, deliver the herd, and draft animals. These are all in some way can either have a great payout, take virtually no time to do, and some can also give you renown while also getting charm and relation with the fief or lord that you're completing them with. So make sure you're checking lords for their quests. If you see a village, stop by very quick, and also stop by town. It also helps to keep some draft animals on you and also buy some cheap tools for the tools quest. So always watch out for them because there are amazing ones that you can get and they take hardly no time to do. This is still something that so many people avoid and will always be my number one go to, and that is becoming a mercenary. When you become a mercenary, they're going to pay you a contract. They're going to give you 210 dinars a day for each influence you give them. This number will vary. So if you want to look for a specific one, you can wait for a really good offer. Now, this is where two perks come into play that I've explained earlier. One is Steward and the other one is Charm. I were to get 275 Steward, I would now lower my wages. So now I have price of loyalty at 275. And at 275, it is now decreased my wages by 100 per day. A lot of times at this point, you could be having a party that has 2 or even 3,000 in wages. The other one is going to be Charm. This is so important for two reasons. One is the 50 perk, which will let you get 30% more influence from battles. And when you hit 275, you are going to gain one influence for every 5 skills over 250. So as soon as you hit 275, you are going to gain 5 influence a day. And then every 5 points after that, an additional influence. What that means is just at 275, you're going to gain 5 influence a day. Our contract was for 210. That means that 5 influence is going to come out to be 1,050 dinars every day for free. So we won this battle and got 27.6 influence. So we now have 32 influence. They are going to take 7 of our influence away from us. How they calculate that is they take 20% of your influence plus 1 per day to pay on your contract. So 20% of 32.5 would come out to be 6.5. So it's 6 plus 1 is 7. They're going to take and multiply that by our mercenary contract, which is 210, meaning tomorrow they're going to pay us 1,470. And then we could still take the prisoners and we got all the loot from that battle. If you take that 24 influence and multiply it by our Merc contract of 210, that means that one battle was worth 5,000 dinars. Now we'll go into town and we'll sell everything we got from the battle as well. And we got 12,000. So that one single battle was worth over 17,000 dinars. In the early slash mid game, becoming a mercenary is so important because you can make money, charm, relation, and of course, you can get pretty good gear in the process. I hope this really helped you out in the new changes for 1.9 and especially full release to make your game just a little bit easier. I hope to talk to you guys again really soon. As always, my friends, take care and thanks for watching.